Hi guys, so it's that time of the day where we get to code some words. We're going to be working on some of the things that we've talked about so far this week. Remember, we've talked about Y when it acts as a vowel, and we talked about today we learned about combination ER. Okay, so let's look at our first word. I've got Y at the end. So let's block it off for a second and see if it's going to be a suffix or if it's just going to help with an ending, okay? So if I block it off, I've got that double G. And so I know I can cross one of those off. I've got an O that has a G behind it. So it's got a consonant behind it, so it's closed, so it's going to be short. So when I look at it then, I have the word fog. Fog. Is fog a word by itself? Yes. So that means I can box off that Y because it's acting as a suffix. And remember, when it acts as a suffix, it almost always makes the sound E. That's right. It almost always says the E sound. So foggy. Foggy. Very good. All right, let's look at our next word. Now, Y at the end of this word can't be a suffix. Why not? Because if I block it off, what am I left with? I'm just left with the sk, and that's not a word by itself. So we know that this Y has to be acting as the vowel for the word. So I'm going to go ahead and dot it because I know it's going to act as a vowel. Now I have to figure out if it's going to make the long sound or the short sound. So let's think about this. I have sk, sk, I, very good. And remember, if it's saying I and saying its name, it's that long sound. So sk, I. So we have foggy sky. Very good. All right, let's look down here. This is a little bit longer of a word, isn't it? So what do we need to do first? Let's find our vowels. So I have a vowel that's an O, and then what's my other vowel? That's an E. Very good. And I've got that consonant behind it. So I know, what am I going to do? I'm going to chop it down the middle of those consonants. So when I chop it like that, let's look at my first syllable. CVC. So I know that O is going to be short. So I just have k, op, cop. Now look at my next syllable though. I've got an E, but it's with the R, okay? So when it's with that R, remember, it's a combination. It says And when we have combinations, remember, we're just going to put that little mark in between. We're going to mark them underneath like that to put them together, okay? So I've got k, cop, and then per. So copper. And let's look at our next word. What do you notice? Well, first, that's right. I've got that S at the end. Now, I know it's a suffix because when I block it off, let's see if this word makes sense by itself. I've got OO, so I need to underline it. And remember, OO can make two different sounds. It can say oo or Okay, so if I sound it out first, I'd say t, oo, t, oo. Is that a real word? No, let's try it with the oo. T, ools. Tools. Very good. So I've got tools, and that S is making that Z sound, so I'm going to make it a little line through it to look like a Z. So copper, tools. All right, let's look at our last word. Remember that apostrophe X? I'm going to act like it's not even there, okay? And if I act like it's not there, I have an E with nothing behind it. So it is open, so it's going to be long. So I'm going to put that long macron on top. So now I have E, he. So he's, and then let's look at this word. What do you notice about this word? It's got that ing at the end. So I'm going to box it off, but I have to make sure that it has a root word that makes sense by itself. So if I box it off, let's look over here. I've got ing again, but I can't have two suffixes in the same word. I can't have to say ing, okay? So, because I have to have, that would make an S by itself, and that doesn't make sense. So if I look for my vowel is I, it's in front of N, so it's going to be short. But then I also see that NG, which says so I'm going to underline it. So I have sing, singing. Very good. So he's singing. So let's really quick look over those words again. We have foggy sky, copper tools, he's singing. Awesome job coding today.